All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone. Uh, it's a good day wherever you're joining us from right about now. And once we want to welcome you again and wish you a happy new month. And we do hope that you are having a great start of the month already. So, what's the atmosphere like at your end? You can do well to share with us in the chats what's happening at your hand. Of course, we know that we are all vastly spread across different countries on the African continent. Nigerians are having a moment. I think Tanzania, yet Sudan, and so many places are having one or two movements about now. So, what's this situation like at your hand? What's your country like today? How are you feeling? Please share with us in the chat. We really want to know what's going on at your hand. Yes. You can just keep it going, keep dropping it. Okay. We seem to have some other persons joining the section. And of course, I think while we are here, some other folks are also joining us on YouTube. We want to acknowledge each and every one of you. We want to say a great welcome to you, especially to the retreat of the development phase of our SDGs Africa Mentorship Programme. And I'm sure that right until now, we've been having a great time, especially um, especially from the series of workshops that we've been having right until now. So definitely, from the report that we've received so far, we see that many of you readily have a whole lot of lessons to learn from this phase of your fellowship. So I want to welcome again those of you joining from Uganda, from South Africa, from Nigeria, from Tanzania, from the Benin Republic, and from every other countries that were represented on this fellowship program. And I think it would be nice if we can just start today by you sharing with us your key takeaways from the last section that we had. So our last section was grant and proposal writing by Dr. Charles, and we quite could tell how intense that section was. From the report that we had, we were sure that you had a lot of learnings from the section. So we would want you to just quickly share in the chat your key takeaways from the last section. Of course, for many of you that were here last week, I was sure that you had a lot to take home with you. And just so you are able to help those that were not with us last week, maybe they will be moved by the takeaways, and they will be able to go back to see the section. So just keep it coming. Of course, it was insightful. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, for some it was amazing. Wow. Yeah, it was practical indeed. Yes, sure, I agree with you. It was very practical. Okay, for some of us, it opened us to new methods of proposal and grant writing. Well, that's correct. I know so many people struggles with grant and proposal writing, but surely that section did justice to all you would ever think of that would allow you have an ease of proposal writing. Well, keep your comments and your takeaways coming in the chat, but just so we have not, okay, our time is not wasted. Yeah, we don't want to waste so much of our time because we understand that almost every one of us have one or two other things to see to. So I want to welcome you again to today's session. Trust me, it's going to be an amazing section again because we have with us today an amazing facilitator who's going to take us on a journey again. And for today's section, we want to be looking at another very key topic. And today's topic is definitely on leadership management. Leadership management. Of course, we know so well that many of us, we are readily leaders, right? But because we know that there are still so many things that we need to learn, to know about leadership, that's why this section has been created for this week, just so we are equipped with leadership and people management skills. So for today, I'm sure that almost each and every one of us that are on the call will be very, very interested in learning on leadership and people management. Of course, there are so many skills to be learned under leadership and people management. Of course, it is many a times we feel like leading people can be very, very easy, while for some other persons, leading people can be very, very tough also. So for this reason, we thought it right to bring this topic to you right about this time, and we are very sure that this is really going to equip us with so much learning, and definitely we have a lot to learn. So we're happy for this evening's session. I want to see in the chat right about now, drop your favorite emoji. When you drop your favorite emoji, it informs us that you are very ready for today's section. So keep your favorite emoji coming in the comments. Let's have you. Let's know how well you want this section. Let's know if it really interests you. Otherwise, maybe we would have to change our mind. Of course, that's a joke, right? We are really going to be having a great time here today. However, before we go into today's section, that was just to prep us, to get us informed on what to expect, so that if you have many disturbance around you, you can fix things up. You still have like about 5-10 minutes for you to get yourself prepared. You need your writing materials, you want to pick it somewhere. Of course, you can do that now. But while you are doing that, I would like to call on our own regional director, Mr. Emmanuel Olalowo, who is going to introduce us to some other key information for the month, especially as it concerns the fellowship program. Many a times, many of you keep reaching out to us to inquire and ask about certain things. Maybe many a times you need clarity with a lot of things. Well, I think it is even good that we advise you to always pay attention when we are having information hours within our sessions. Because for many of the questions that are always reaching out to get clarity on, information about such have always been shared on sessions live like this. So please, I want you to pay rapt attention while Mr. Emmanuel is speaking now, and ensure to get all the information that you will need. And just after that, we'll be introducing to us facilitator for today. So please get yourself ready. Do not be distracted. And of course, I'll be with you in like a minute. So Mr. Emmanuel, over to you, sir.
Okay, a very good afternoon and good evening to each and everyone. Thank you very much, Mayowa. Thank you, and I hope each and every one of you are keeping safe and in active engagement wherever you are joining from. And happy new month to you once again. I'm glad to wish each and every one of you a very prosperous new month. Yeah, this evening I would just like to dwell more on information regarding this fellowship program, and it's just one of those programs which we prioritize at AIIDEV Africa, most especially when it comes to the development phase and the advancement phase of this program. I believe you all have access to what I'm sharing again, but I'm having the mandate to share this as a reminder to each and every one of you once again. And this evening, I'm just going to share my screen just in a minute while I'm going to preview the timeline of this event. And I believe you all can see my screen clearly, what is being expected for the phase 2 of this program. Okay, And this all starts from, we are in a new month, and this is the third week of this development phase in the African SDG Mentorship Programme. And we believe that you all have been reading the books for the month. Last month was on effective communication, and this month we are going to be reading a new book, and this is focused on emotional intelligence, and this is going to be shared with us. However, beyond the soft copy, the e-copy that has always been shared, you can just visit the nearest bookshop or store to get an hard copy of this book. It's worth a whole lot to have all this book in your library. Very, very important. And talking more about the activities for this month, which is also going to we are going to be continuing with the weekly specialized training, and which we're going to be having a third session today, and this is still going to span to the last Thursday of this month. And also is the workshop series. Each and every team are expected to carry out their workshop series based on the research and case study development which you've been working on, and that you started last month. We believe that you are making conclusion and you've made a good progress regarding that. So if you are on a team and you've not been engaging with your team members, it's very, very important for you to get engaged, because there are situations, circumstances whereby when it comes to aspect of submitting report, that's when people like that they get to become active. Team leads, ensure that you don't add their names to your report. Team members, ensure that their name is not added to the report. So it's very, very important. Each and every one of you must engage, you must participate, you must contribute in your brainstorming session, in your review session. Very, very important. And another thing which I would like to say is the workshop series implementation. The workshop series implementation has been made easy for each and every one of each and every team across the 17 groups. The major thing you have to do first is to get approval. Once you get approval from the program team, they are going to send the approval through your team lead. Once you get approval to go ahead, they've approved the team for your workshop, the date for your workshop, it's been approved, you can move on. However, there are some people that they are going to be on pending approval. Take, for example, maybe two teams, there may be SDG1 team selected 10th of August and they selected 10 a.m. Then SDG4 to selected at the same time. It's going to be disapproved for SDG4. They are going to tell you to select another time, because there mustn't be any clashing. I mean, your time must not clash. So let me just use that word. Your time which you've fixed for your session must not clash. And when it comes to the workshop series which you are doing, this is going to be on Zoom, and you are going to have access to the Zoom account which you'll be using, one managed by the community engagement specialist and the programs team of the organization. And most importantly, for your session, you have to run a publicity. After you've gotten your approval, they are going to share this document with you. They are going to share an invitation template with you, which you can use to send invite to your guest speakers. They're also going to share a Canva link template with you, so you don't need to go extra mile to do designs yourself. It's just for you to put your picture, put your name, put your date, put your team. Then you go straight to publicity. Very, very important. You need to do you need to carry out publicity for your event, for your workshop series before you jump on. At least you must have a minimum of a week publicity. And this workshop series is not just for you, it's not for your team alone, it's for the general public. And it's expected that each team must have a minimum of 50 participants, and you must do a screenshot of your sessions. So I know that there are teams that are going to have close to 100 participants, and there are rewards for that anyway. And we are hoping to see the best team who is going to perform well in this regard. And when it comes to speaker engagement, you have to have a speaker from outside, an invited speaker who is going to be facilitating generally on your team, and you are going to have another set of panelists. So this is coming from your team members So even if you are two on your team, two of you are going to be the panelists for your session, and you can also invite your friends should in case that you are not that many in your group. I think, like I said in one of our meetings, the last year we had SDG 15. Just one fellow, she had to invite some of our friends to join her on the session, and it was very interactive and amazing session. So don't say that you are not many on your team, you can't do well. So even though you are just one, you can still implement your activity perfectly well. But most importantly, you must have a minimum of 2 or 3 members featuring as a panelist, and that's to have a discussion around the theme of your workshop series. And definitely you also have your moderator. Like I said, the Zoom platform is going to be shared. There is a calendar link that is going to be shared with you. Once you get your approval, you can get to schedule your Zoom. You can get to schedule your session yourself, and the timeline will be shared with, the link is going to be shared with your team lead instantly. Most importantly, it's very, very key for you to have a recording of your session. Do a screenshot of your session, screenshot of participants, very important because it's part of what you'll be submitting as reports. And at the end of the month, it's very, very important for you to submit your report. So you can definitely submit before 28th. You don't need to wait till August 28th before you submit your report. And also, individually, we are to submit our development project strategy. Remember that you already submitted your proposal, right? And now it's moving on to strategy. How do you want to achieve this? I believe a guide is also going to be shared with you to guide you through the process on documenting your development project strategy. These are the key information I have to share. And I believe that we are all engaging, we are all connecting, we are all brainstorming our respective team. And like the learning dialogue for this week is focused on networking and social lifestyle. I believe hopefully by Saturday, each and every team are going to be meeting, discussing, and most importantly, you're having bonding activities. Yeah, thank you everyone. We look forward to see the exceeding and good progress you are going to be making in your respective countries. Enjoy the rest of today's session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. And yes, I do know that maybe for some of us, on the call this afternoon, you may have further questions to ask. Please ensure to pass across your questions through your team leads. I'm sure that it's going to be well taken care of. So without further ado, I'd like to present to you today our facilitator for today's section. This is someone we hold dearly at AIIDEV Africa. He's a senior, he's an experienced person. You can imagine someone with over 10 years of work experience. You can tell what to expect. So if you're excited to have our facilitator this afternoon, please let me see your reactions in the chat. I want to know how prepared you are. I want to see how ready are you. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the leadership and people management section, Barrister Sonny Abiodun. So permit me to read to you Barrister Sonny's profile so that you will know that you are in for a great experience this evening. So Barrister Sonny Abiodun is qualified both as a lawyer and a management consultant with 12 years of work experience. He started his legal career with the commercial law firm of Jackson, Etsy and Edu in Lagos, Nigeria in 2011. From where he was seconded to the South Africa office of Global Law Firm, Family Worldwide, in 2013 to practice global immigration law and facilitate trainings on Nigeria law. Thereafter served as regional manager in Ibadan for Kemo, now known as Junior Market in 2014, and in January 2016, he founded Audrey Oluwatomi Associates, also known as Audrey Law, a commercial law firm based in Ibadan, Nigeria. Sonny has facilitated trainings on different areas of commercial law, And business development for institutions, including the Ibadan Business School, Jobama Nigeria, Faith Foundation, Junior Chambers International, like the JCI Nigeria, the Afestars Academy, Youth in Pursuit of Purpose Foundation, UPOP, amongst many others. He is currently the head Human Resources and Legal Services at Resepi Technologies Limited, where he coordinates and mentors employee performance, business ethics, and human relations of personnel across the 6 businesses in the Resepi Group. He also consults on talent sourcing and retention, business ethics, people and culture for several companies and institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that we have brought the right person for the job to you this evening. Because Barrister Sami has been managing people, employee performance, he has been coordinating and monitoring their performances, and not only that, but mentoring such other persons as the Human Resources and Legal Services head at Resepi Technologies Limited. So maybe this evening, there may be some of you on this call that will find a mentor in Barrister Sami. So, ladies and gentlemen, with your clap, or the virtual clap anyways, I want you to welcome Barrister Sami Abiodun, who is going to take us now on the topic for today. Yes, over the next 45 minutes to the next 1 hour, Barrister Sami is going to be taking us on the amazing topic for this evening, which is leadership and people management. So, ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we go on this journey with Barrister Sami right now. So, Barrister Sami, you're welcome once again to AIIDEV Africa, and we are glad to have you here with us. We understand how busy you are, but thank you for always coming through. And now you may just take over from me, and I'll be here if you need anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't take the opportunity for granted at all. Okay, so the session I'm going to be taking is on team of people management. Thank you very much once again, everyone, for being here. It's always a privilege to share, and I know that I believe strongly that I'm here because I'm meant to be here this time. I believe that I'm here because I have the information that is relevant to your work and to your next levels. And it's important that we all try to key in so that we can maximize the session and get the best out of it. I'm going to be talking on leadership and people management. Leadership and people management. Now, for different reasons, we may not be able to. I had planned some exercises in this class, but somehow, on second thought, seeing the nature of the arrangement, it may not work to have the exercises. But either way, let's still move very quickly. Now, one of the things that I'm hoping we would achieve with this session is to help you, first of all, understand what leadership is. And the reason that is important is because in your different roles, it's important to be mindful that leadership is not a concept. So many people interpret leadership in very academic terms, as a concept or as a principle or as a, strategy or something like that. But leadership is really a culture. It's a way of life that you inculcate, that you develop. It becomes your second nature, and then you're able to effectively carry out your responsibilities as a leader. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to understand leadership as a culture and then be keenly aware of your own role in leadership, understand people and personality differences, understand how to optimize the influence that you're having as a leader. Because as a leader, one of the things that happens is that you're privileged to have influence over other people, and then understand the balance between your own self-satisfaction, ensuring that your team is effective, and achieving the broad organizational goals. And hopefully we can make commitments together to being better and leading more effectively. Now, with that in mind, what exactly is leadership? What exactly is leadership? Leadership can simply be explained as being more, doing well. The process of optimizing people, optimizing other resources, but there is a set goal that we're trying to achieve. Now, one of the things or one of the misconceptions that we have about leadership many times is trying to achieve organizational goals and leading people. I'm using that very loosely. Leading people to achieve the organization's goals. Leading people to achieve the organization's goals. That is very good. But what that takes away is the process. And the process of leadership, which I am more concerned about more often than not, is that leadership is not only about achieving the organizational goals, but ensuring that every single person is becoming a better version of themselves. Now, think about it this way. We have a team of 10. Everyone has responsibilities. The organization's goals is, if the organization is being perfect, the organization is functioning at 100%. That is if the organization is being perfect. Now, your role as a leader is to ensure that the organization functions at 100%. So how then do you achieve that? How you achieve that is to ensure that every single component, every single person that you're working with, every single person that has a task, a responsibility within your team, and if you're leading the entire organization, within the organization, and even within yourself, every component is functioning at 100%. That is when the organization can be achieving 100%. And that is simple arithmetic. Take, for example, I said we have 10 people in the team. If we want to achieve 100% as the organization's goals, how will we achieve 100%? It's simply by the 10 people achieving 100% in their individual roles. Now, if everyone is at 100% in their individual roles, the aggregate of that brings us to 1,000. The average of that brings us back to 100%. So the organization is able to achieve 100% if everyone is in their own roles achieving 100%. I hope that makes sense to you. So then, as the leader, as the person responsible for ensuring that your own team or ensuring that the body is achieving 100%, you need to first of all appraise where each person is, appraise what will constitute growth for each person, and ensure that as you are working towards your team's goals, each person is improving in their own deliverables. Improving in their own deliverables means that they're improving in their own capacity. As they're improving in their capacity, the overall goal is also improved on. So your role as a leader is to ensure that you're optimizing people and optimizing other resources. But remember that you, as the leader, your own responsibility is to also ensure that everyone is achieving 100%. Now, you are also being marked against that deliverable of achieving 100%. So if your team members are not achieving 100%, it's also reducing your own score, because that is your own primary responsibility in addition to whatever specific role you are playing in that team. So you are also ensuring that you are leading yourself properly, improving yourself, and in the process of improving yourself, you are also improving your team towards the organization's goals. So breaking down your tasks as the leader is the process of inspiring, motivating, and enabling people to cohesively work together. Enabling means you're not only motivating them, you're also giving them the right tools, giving them the right opportunities. When they stumble, you give them another chance until you are sure that they are unable to improve. And once you are sure they are unable to improve, it is part of your responsibility as a leader to let them go, because otherwise they would also consistently drag down your team. But make sure you are sure that this person doesn't have the capacity to improve. You know, I have teammates in the organization where I currently work, and I think I was having a conversation with the human resource person a few days ago about one of my teammates. And I said, see, this person, there is no point giving this person a probation period, or there's no point giving this person any form of penalty. We know, and it is clear, that this person does not have the capacity, both intellectually and drive, to improve or to achieve what we need this person to be doing. So the best thing to do is to let the person go. Let the person go and find somewhere else where their current skill set can find sentimental. It's not you being sentimental, it is you being actual. Can you please confirm if you can still hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Please confirm if you can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you please confirm if you can still hear me?
We can hear you.
Did you lose me for a bit, or could you hear me all through? Okay, so I was saying that the evidence of good leadership is positive influence. Can you please confirm that you can still hear me so I can proceed?
Yes, you can proceed. You can proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was saying that the evidence of good leadership is positive influence. Now, many people feel that if they're leading well, then they will earn respect. No, it's not respect. It's positive influence. The proof that you're leading properly is that people are improving, is that people are becoming better versions of themselves. You are also becoming a better version of yourself. So in summary, leadership is simply the process of helping people become better. That is on one hand. Number two, you as a leader doing things right, because many people that you are privileged to work with are more, they find it easier to do the right things if you, who has a level of influence over them, is doing the right thing. So we've seen different leaders who have a culture of do as I say, not do as I do. Terrible, terrible. Being a good example is a very key component of being an effective leader. Now, this is how I want you to say it. What do you want people to improve on? You go ahead and improve on that thing. When people see you, people that are working with you, people that are relating with you, people that are learning from you, and you never can tell how many people are learning from you. But when there are people like that, and there will always be, then you have a responsibility to always do things right, always do things properly. Being a good example is one of the most important aspects of being a good leader. I'm going to skip this exercise because of time. If we still have time, we're going to come back to it. But let me just share from the lessons in it. Every single person is a potential leader. Every single person is a potential leader. Okay, so let me just read through what the exercise was meant to be for us to have a little bit of context. I wanted you to split yourselves and then identify, so maybe you can do it top of your head. Just think of two people that you would consider great leaders, irrespective of where they're from, irrespective of what they do. Just two people that you would consider as great leaders. And then now identify specific qualities that make them great leaders. Now, these are people that you are personally perceiving as great leaders. Identify what makes them great leaders. If you compare the qualities that you have identified for each person, you may realize that some will be uniform, some will cut across different great leaders, while some will be very unique. Some qualities will be very unique about a person. For some people, you will find empathy. For some people, you will find drive. For some people, you will find vision. For some people, it is their achievements that you're seeing. For some people, it is just their personality, the way people flock around them, the way people are attracted to them. Different things to constitute what makes people great leaders. But if you now identify those qualities and assess yourself by those qualities, one of the most important things you will find out is that many of the qualities that makes great leaders are qualities that you already have. Many of the qualities that you would identify in people and say, oh, if this person does this person is definitely a great leader. Many of those qualities you would also find in yourself. They may just be at different levels. They may just not yet be as optimized as what you're seeing in that person that you're identifying as a great leader. And what that teaches us is that everyone is a potential leader. You already have some qualities to be the best that you can be. What you need to do is to be mindful of what those qualities are and deliberately improve on them. Be mindful of what someone has. If you see that someone has drive, he has vision, and that is something that you also have, but you are not yet effectively optimizing that vision that you have. You have ideas, you have dreams, but you are not yet bringing those dreams to become multi-billion-dollar ideas or actual innovations for the organization you represent, or even for yourself. Then you know that you are on a journey. You are not yet there, but you are on a journey. Be mindful of it, celebrate where you are currently, because it gives you the pump, the drive to improve. Also realize that no one is perfect. Now, this is one of the things that you identify after comparing different great leaders. No one is perfect. The reason that is so is because you will not find all the possible qualities in all the different leaders. You will not find all the possible qualities in all the different leaders, which means some of them fall short on some of those qualities. So not even the best of leaders that we know or read about have everything that they need to be great leaders. They are also works in process, just like you are. Number 3, self-awareness is very important. Be keenly aware of what your current strengths are and have the intelligence to identify things that you do not yet have and have the discipline to learn and deliberately improve on them. Now, if you have identified where you are, identified what you need to do, be a constructive help for other people. And this goes back to what I said about one of the core things about being an effective leader. It is helping people improve themselves, helping people become better versions of themselves. You achieve that by being a mirror for other people. When people do something right, be deliberate about giving constructive feedback. Help people become better. Help them know what they're doing wrong or what they're doing that can be improved on. If you are consistently looking out for how people can become better, you would also be consistently reminding yourself what to be doing to be becoming better. Leadership is being a good example. You can't be an effective leader just by taking actions. It needs to be who you are. It needs to be your default state. And that default state comes with your self-awareness, knowing where you are. I wish we had the time to do that. For you to think critically about yourself. First of all, from that exercise that we just glossed over, identify all the qualities that a great leader should have. Now mark yourself by each of those qualities. That self-awareness goes a long way in helping you know who you are and what you need to be doing to improve on who you are. Self-awareness fixes your past errors, but self-regulation helps you. That is, being mindful helps you to enhance who you are now. And then motivation ensures that you improve. That kind of secures your future. So as a leader, you should not be that person that says, do as I say. You should be that person that says, do as I say and do, which means you're deliberately doing the right thing, being the right example for other people around you, other people that are learning from you, other people that are in your team, other people that are privileged to be under you in one capacity or the other. Be deliberate about their own progress, their own improvement. Like I said, leadership is a culture, it is a way of life, it is a default setting. So when you consistently try to set the right standard and be the right person, you would also be consistently helping other people improve. Now, going back to self-leadership, there are different aspects of yourself. There are things that you already know that are your strengths. Those things, so we call this image you can see here, the Johari window. It means that there are some strengths that you have that are known to you and are known to every other person. But there are also some things that are known to other people that are not yet known to you. For example, you may feel like you are a very deliberate person, but other people are able to see that, oh no, this person sometimes talks to people in a way that is not pleasant enough. I'll give you an example, a personal example. One of my children told me this morning, or I was on the phone with someone yesterday. I was in a meeting with someone yesterday, and I was telling someone something that they had done wrong and how they could improve on themselves. It's someone that I consult for personally, like a mentor. He has self-esteem issues, and I was trying to help him build his self-esteem and all that, and also guide him towards therapy. So I was having that conversation in that meeting, and my daughter was in another room close by. Now, by the time I was done with the meeting, my wife told me that, hey, see, this girl said something while you were on that meeting. I said, what did she say? She said that she wishes daddy can talk to her sometimes the way he's talking to that person over the phone. That over the phone, I was so nice, so calm, so gentle, so empathetic. But when I'm talking to her, sometimes I'm too strict. And that was very funny for me because I had never thought about that. I had never seen myself that way. But you see, it means that that is a part of me being a leader that I was not mindful of, that I needed to work on. Now, from that feedback, I've become a bit more deliberate. This morning, I tried to give her a better hug. I tried to say something nicer. Over time, you start to find your blind spots. Be patient enough to listen and have an open mind enough to learn when people let you realize your blind spots. So there are leadership qualities that you have. There are some that are known to you that are also known to others. There are some that are not known to you that are known to others. There are some that are known to you and are also not known to others. Now, for those things that are known to you that are not known to others, some people may feel like you're proud. Meanwhile, you probably are dealing with low self-esteem. Or some people may feel like you don't talk much, but you're probably just that way because of previous experiences that you've had that has now made you very careful in what you say. It may be a strength, it may not be a strength, but there are things that you are aware about yourself that other people are not aware about. You can be deliberate in sharing, in giving people perspective, helping people understand why you were doing or why you were relating or why you are not doing the way you are not doing. And there are things that are not known to you, not known to others. You will pick this up as you grow. The more you lead, the better you become at leading. Now, ensure that in the process of leading, you will see that there's something that has been consistent in my line of thought, and that is about other people. Leadership is never complete if there are no other people in the picture. You will lead yourself, but the value of leading yourself is for other people to be able to firstly learn from it, number two, emulate it, which means you that is a leader figure, either leading yourself or leading other people in a small team or leading a large organization, you need to understand yourself, assess yourself, improve yourself, different areas, even in the core area of your work, even in your specific tasks, improve yourself. You will realize that there are many people that are working with you that, let me just explain this way. If you're leading a team, you may find out that there is someone that doesn't really take instructions from you. So you give instructions, this person doesn't follow it. You give instructions again, this person doesn't follow it. Or this person struggles more than other people in taking your instructions. Guess what? It may simply be because the person doesn't feel confident in your capacity to lead them. For example, let's say you are a web developer, but there's someone in your team that knows more than you. The person may find it difficult to submit fully to everything you say because they feel like, even this guy doesn't know it all. Even this guy doesn't know a lot. He doesn't have what it takes to be my leader, and that can influence their approach or their receptiveness to you in what you do. So part of being a good leader is improving yourself in your own work, in your own task, as a writer, as a researcher, whatever you do, improve yourself, and then influence yourself and duplicate yourself. Duplicating yourself means you're setting a good example for other people to follow, and you're setting positive examples. A team is only as strong as its weakest link. So leadership requires that everyone under you is at their best. Now, I'm going to skip this exercise as well. Let me see. So let me just move forward to where the race itself starts. And then I'm hoping that you would get what I'm saying.
America run by the American continent. It's gone very strongly indeed now. The Jamaicans have got.
All right. So, did you understand anything from the video? Now, here's the lesson. This is known as the fastest race in history. It's a race by Jamaican team, right? Now, what has happened is, thank you. What has happened is 4 people have run a relay race, which has culminated in the fastest race in history. But how did that happen? It happened by each person giving their personal best, which then resulted in the overall best result. Now, one person ran 10.10, but some other people in the team were able to cover up. One person ran 8 point something. Let me see if I can find the exact. If I can find. So Bulls ran 8 seconds. Now, at the end of the day, the only reason this race is able to be regarded as the fastest race is the aggregate of efforts. A team, a group, a body is only as strong as its weakest link. So one of the things you must be mindful of in your responsibility as a leader is to ensure that you are not the weakest link. Is to ensure that you are not the weakest link. That means you being a part of a team, ensuring that at every point you are delivering your best. At every point you are delivering your best. Now, what we also realize is that the 4 people that have come together to form that team are all excellent people in their individual roles. So as a leader, one of the things that you should be mindful of is ensuring that anyone that is likely to drag you down is removed from the team. As long as they're given chances to improve, if they're unable to improve, at the very least, escalate. Because the organization is not going to mark you and exonerate you for someone in your team that has done something wrong. They're going to mark the aggregate of the team efforts as a leader. So it becomes important that if there's any component, any factor, any part of your team that will ensure that you are not reaching your goals, you escalate or at least flag it clearly enough so the organization knows that this is a potential snag in your progress, and the organization is able to recognize that if your result is not at par, if your result is not perfect. Influence is a consequence. You don't demand influence, you command influence. And that means that as a leader figure, either in your role, in dealing with other people, you don't tell people how to be. Your actions, your stature, your posture consistently will make people gravitate towards what you want. If you're the person that tries to dictate using a dictatorial style of leadership, authoritarian style of leadership, what then happens is that people will obey you initially until they have a chance to rebel. Influence rather is a consequence, and influence is the biggest tool of leadership. The privilege that you have to determine how people behave, or to determine how people progress, or to determine how people contribute their own quota to collective goals. So ensure that you're building the culture, people are simply following what they're seeing and believing to be a right way to do things. Now, you have responsibilities as a leader. You have 3 levels of responsibilities. You have responsibilities to the organization, you have responsibilities to yourself, and then you have responsibilities to the team. And this is very important. This is very important. You have responsibilities. I mean, what tends to happen is, as a leader, people only remember the responsibility to the organization. Oh, I'm a leader, I need to ensure that this happens. No, you have a responsibility to yourself, and you also have a responsibility to the people you're leading. So a good leader is one who is able to determine which one comes first. A good leader is someone who is able to balance all and possibly achieve all. So your responsibility to the organization is for you to understand that leadership is a trust. The organization that is depending on you to deliver certain results is exhibiting trust in you. So please go ahead, deliver results, and meet the organization's goals. You need to understand that from the perspective of the team, you as a leader, you have an opportunity. It's an opportunity that you have to influence people. It's an opportunity that you have to determine how people behave, to determine what people do or not do. So understand that responsibility is an opportunity, responsibility, leadership is a trust. And then you have a responsibility to yourself. Understand that leadership is a privilege. Someone else could have been given that responsibility of leadership. Responsibility that is given to you as a leader is a privilege to learn, to do, and to improve yourself, to become. Having full understanding of these 3 states of mind as a leader helps you in the kind of steps you take and the kind of results that you have. Now, these are clear processes of things to understand generally as a leader. In the process of bringing out the best of everyone, leadership is a skill you need to master, number 1, which means to know all that you can know, and then seek opportunities to learn quickly. So as a leader, you need to master. That is deepening your knowledge base. As a leader, you need to model. Be what and who you want others to be. I can't emphasize this enough. Show them how and show them who to be in terms of the organizational culture, the commitment to work. You cannot be the person as a leader who is slow, who comes late, or who arrives or who delivers their tasks late. You cannot be that person as a leader. You need to model who you want people to be. And then number 3, you need to mine, find the diamond on the rubble, help people identify their potentials, strengthen people's potentials, encourage them, celebrate them, collaborate with them, give them more opportunities to improve. And once you identify strengths that people have, I mean, you can consistently give compliments. I think it's one of the core responsibilities of a leader to give compliments when your people do well. When you identify their strengths, help them hone it and help them amplify it. Number 4, motivation. Be generous with your words, kind words, encouragement, positive affirmations of good deeds when they do goes a long way in keeping your people motivated. Make time for your team. Make time for your colleagues. Be a haven for colleagues. Often we shut people out, and eventually we may wish we didn't. So make time out, mentor people, be deliberate about knowledge transfer. Be deliberate about knowledge transfer, and then maintain your balance. Don't be easily ruffled. Don't be moved by all winds of information. In the course of leadership, people will come to you with all sorts of information about other people, about their opinions, about what they think you should be doing, what they think you should not be doing, how they think you should be doing. Everyone has an opinion which they want to share with the leader. Everyone knows the best ways to lead until they get into those shoes. So please have a mind of your own. Have a mind of your own. Receive all. If you're not someone that people can talk to, you're on your way to destruction. But if you're also someone that everyone can talk to, you're on your way to destruction. So ensure that you have a mind of your own, receive information, sift it, and know which one to take specific actions on. Now, I'm coming to the end of my session. Leadership is a skill. It's amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. It is amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. This is a quote that I stumbled on a couple of months ago, and it really, really inspired me. Many times, the reason we do things the way we do them in an organization is because we are trying to get the credit. We're trying to get the acknowledgement from it. But the way a team should operate is with a mindset that we all win. If one person in this team wins, we all win. If nobody in this team wins, we all don't win. It is amazing how much can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit. Quote by John Wilson, and I strongly believe this is how every team, every good team should operate. Now, I'm going to skip this as well, and then just go straight to the action point. Now, this is what I think you should be doing going forward. Number 1, lead by example. Lead by example. That means for yourself, be competent. Develop. You will see that this is consistent in my session. Be competent. Develop yourself. Develop yourself. Lead by example. Number 2, be committed. Your commitment is contagious. Your commitment to the organizational goals, your commitment to people, your commitment to people's development is contagious. As other people are seeing it, they're picking it, they're learning from it, they're trying to be that way as well. And number 3, build character. As a leader, avoid sharp practices. Don't be the person that is always looking for ways around things, looking for the shorter route, looking for the easier route, avoiding the principles and the policies of the organization. Build character. Consistently. Ensure that your commitment is at par. Ensure that your commitment is top-notch because your commitment is contagious. And then build character. Build character. Build character. Equip your team. Be deliberate about ensuring that other people learn. Be deliberate about ensuring that other people are improving. Assign responsibilities clearly and with timelines. That is you equipping your team. Encourage feedback. Give people the opportunity to always share what they're experiencing, what they're getting right, what they're getting wrong, what they're having challenges with, and then be interested in your people, not just in the job. Don't just be interested in them getting the job done. Be interested in them as people, because people can tell if you don't care about them. And then number 3, motivate your team. Commend people when they do well. Encourage them to know that they can do better, and then correct productively when they do wrong. Correct constructively when they do wrong. You know, there's something that we call the feedback sandwich, and I just want to share it with you. The feedback sandwich. It's I think I've shared it with you before. It's an important way to give feedback to your team members. Don't just be that person that is eager to correct when someone has done something wrong. You correct in love. You correct by, first of all, identifying what they are doing right, and then giving them the correction, and then coming back to commend them again. For example, someone has done something, submitted a report, you receive the report. So definitely the person has done it. If the person has done it, there should be some commendation for doing it, even if they did the wrong thing. Oh, yes, I've received your report. Very well done. Thank you. I can see that you did this, well done. But I can also see that this part is wrong. This part was not even along the lines of what we asked for at all. Oh, no, this part was terrible. This part was this. But I know that you have the capacity to continue to improve. So well done. I'm sure that the next time you do this, you'll be doing it well. That is the feedback sandwich. You praise, you correct, you praise. And the more you do that, the more you are empowering people to be better versions of themselves. And as they become better versions of themselves, they contribute better to the organization, and you have an opportunity to achieve your collective goal. Now, this very popular quote from John Maxwell: a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. So not only do you know the way, which means you're good by yourself, you're improving by yourself, you also lead by example. And then you give the people that are working with you an opportunity to improve on themselves as well. The more you do this, the more you're able to achieve your results as an organization. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you. I'm hoping that you have learned one or two things from this session today.
Thank you very much, Barrister Samin, for this amazing section. I'm sure that our mentees on the program, they have had a whole lot of exposure this evening. It has been a mind-blowing section. It has really been an amazing section. You know, from the different practical and live samples that you have touched on, especially from your different and past years of work experience, to the point of treating the different types of leadership that we have. I'm sure that even many of us that are right on the call today, we are just trying to once again try to understand and know ourselves for the kind of a leader that we are. And I'm sure that by this session, many of us on the call today will be motivated to even put in further efforts into becoming a better leader, especially with the people we work with, so that in our different spheres and in our different endeavors, we are able to work together successfully with people, managing them, and at the end of the day, we all are able to achieve our goals. Of course, I know that a lot of questions that would arise from this section, and that is why, like every other week, we have prepared the Ask Me link that we always use. So the link is going to be shared with you now in the live chat. So please make sure to get the link for you to ask your questions. Definitely, you're going to be getting answers to your questions. And maybe for any reason, technical issues, you are unable to make use of the link, get your questions across to us through your group leaders, and of course, you're going to get answers to every need of yours. So I think at this point, you all want to show your appreciation to Barrister Sonny. I don't know what you're feeling like now, but if you ask me, I know that this section has been very, very amazing. I've had a whole lot of things to learn. So the way you would express your satisfaction with this section to Barrister Sonny now is if you're putting in the chat what this section has meant to you, what it has been for you. How do you feel? Let them just know right about now. Because for me, it's just as though we should continue the section and we should just go on and on. So I think at this point, it is very good if we show our appreciation to Barrister Sonny by you all using, whether it's your clap emoji you want to use, your reaction, your best emoji, or you want to even type it out as a word for Barrister Sonny to see. You can do well to whatever way you feel like. Appreciate Barrister Sonny right now. So Barrister Sonny, we are very grateful for this section this evening. We value every commitment you've made to make this session happen. We value your time. We so much appreciate you. So on behalf of the leadership of AIIDEV Africa, we want to say a special thank you for this amazing section on leadership and people management. And of course, we definitely know that this is one section that we will be hoping to have again, especially as even we at our end would love that our team are well equipped with leadership skills and people management skills. So we are hoping that for any other time that we'll be calling on you, Mr. Somin, you will be willing to join us again like always, and of course, prepared to come and teach to us again valuable lessons as learned in today's section. So thank you very much. We so much appreciate you, sir. And at this point, of course, we do know that there are so many other things you may want to see to. So if you want to take your leave now, of course, while we don't want you to go, we do not have any choice to still stay you back here. So we would, it's a good time if you really have, want to go now for other matters that you need to attend to. We still have about 1 or 2 information to give to the participants of this section today. So thank you very much, and we wish you a great week, a great week, and an amazing weekend ahead. Thank you very much. And yes, for the participants, I'm very sure that we've had a great time here, and it's going smooth for us. However, I want to encourage us, based on what Mr. Manuel has shared with us, that you continue to carry on with your activities, starting from the book you are supposed to read, to your research, to your projects, and everything that are supposed to be the deliverables for your project. Please mind the timeline as much as possible. When something is due at AIIDEV, it is due. We so much value your commitment, and we would not want that you feel that your time is being wasted for certain reasons. Make sure that you don't wait until the very last minute before you make submissions where necessary. Please engage as much as possible on your team. Make sure to familiarize yourself with what you're doing, because your team engagement is highly important and, of course, very rewarding to each and every one of you. So at this point, I think it is worth it if we decide to call it a night here. Of course, when you check by the time now, you see that we had a long let's call. So thank you all very much, and we pray that you have an amazing evening, and we wish you all the best in whatever you will be doing going forward. So thank you very much, and do have a great night rest. Bye, everyone.